It is hot in this garage, but we gotta make a video. So today we're doing a little bit of a garage tour slash toolbox tour. Show you guys what I have for tools and how I storage them. I made a new addition, plus I did some reorganizing because this used to be over here. So we're gonna go over all that, and then yeah, just show you guys around on how I make my videos, how I install my parts, how I organize myself to do things in my garage. Here we go! So we're gonna show you guys this corner or this side of the garage because there's not that much to see. So starting in this corner, you guys are probably familiar. We have the HCR banner hanging here. I got my radio. I got fluids for diffs and oil change kits. And I have this little shelf here that I do carry or keep all my butt connectors and, you know, ring connectors, extra hose clamps and cotter pins and bolts and a bunch of other little extras that I keep in there to have in a safe place. So when I need them for a vehicle, I do have them. Miscellaneous parts up here, some rags, more rags down there, whips from our friends from 5150 Whips, and we got some parts here and there, you know. Mainly this bench is used to you know, organize whatever I'm gonna do in the next video. If I'm installing something, for example, we have, you know, hardware for these new skid plates that I'll be doing in probably the next video. Yeah, this is where I organize everything. I lay everything out, kind of figure out how I'm gonna do it, and then I move on from there. I do have a vise that does wonders for me. It's a really cheap vise from Harbor Freight. In fact, one of the jaws is already broke.
A piece of junk.
But it still does a job.
Trash!
Down here is where I keep all my fluids, my lubricants, paints, adhesives, you name it, I have a bunch of it. So we have glass cleaners, adhesive removers, we have WD-40, we have alcohol, we have what do you call it, acetone, we have degreasers and hand cleaners, just all the stuff that I normally use on a daily basis at work. I have like a bottle of it here because I do come across stuff, whether that be to lube something or whether that be to clean something up. I have a bottle of it here, and it's a lot of stuff. Also paints, miscellaneous paints that I've, you know, painted stuff in the past. Down the bottom there's not really much. There's a bunch of spare batteries. Don't know why I have those.
Trash!
Jack stands. I got some extra tanks here for fuel. On these shelves over here, oh, by the way, there's a little small compressor in that little corner here, wedged between the bench and the shelf. I only use it if I need to put air, but normally I don't really use it. I would like a bigger compressor, but really I don't have the space, so I do with what I got. So right here I have all our stuff for camping, whether that be ice coolers. Behind these behind the flags there's, you know, chairs and easy ups and a bunch of stuff like that. So there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in there for when we go to Laughlin. Behind this flag, I will show you guys real quick. I do have two RC cars that or two RC trucks from Traxxas that I use sometimes. It's been a while, but I do have them there. On this shelf here, I do carry all my special tools. I also have like a spring compressor tools. We have like ball joint tools, just a bunch of random tools that they don't fit in the toolbox. Got a little portable AC, does not work at all.
Trash!
It works, but not for this hot ass garage. I need something bigger. So just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff here. I cover everything with the flag so it doesn't look horrible on the videos. You guys know my machine, it sits here in the middle. So on this wall, besides the paddles, I do have my pack out stuff. My toolbox used to be over here, but we'll get to that in a second and why I moved it. But this wall is kind of incomplete. I might do something here, whether that be a mural or I don't know, another banner, or maybe I'll put another like locker set or some sort of storage cabinets or something. But for now I have my pack out setups. These are pretty much all empty because the bottom one I just got, the center one is for the Can-Am, and the top one is literally just like a little shelf, and all it has is like a air compressor and a battery booster. This is like GoPro stuff and filming stuff that I have. This is what I carry with me when I go on the toy hauler or when I take a trip and I put this in the toy hauler. The bottom is a bunch of tools. We got a socket set here from Milwaukee. In the middle is more GoPro stuff and drones. I have one drone, not drones, one drone. This is just like a portable ice chest, and that's just another little storage thing where I keep straps for when we go out riding. I got a creeper there. The fridge, this fridge is freaking amazing because it has all the stickers on it. So all the stickers that I want on here look great. We got Fast Lab, we got G-Life UTV, Method, Switch Pros, LMUTV, Evo, the retro stickers that say Frank G-Life. Yeah, Shock Therapy, TMW, Fast Lab. So that is I'm adding to that as I go, as I buy parts, as companies help me and hook me up, they go on the wall. So the companies that don't really help me out that much, they go on this side. The companies that do help me, SMB, they go right in the front. So that's that. Up there, a bunch of junk. Trash! So moving on, we got the meat and potatoes right here.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
My toolbox is full of tools. Now all the tools in here, these are budget-friendly DIY type of tools. All my good stuff, all my premium tools, I use those at work. I carry a bunch of Snap-on. Most of everything is Snap-on at work. When it comes to all my sockets, everything is Snap-on at work. It's just if it breaks, they come and they replace the parts, or they replace the sockets. So here I do have a lot more Amazon specials, Tecton, some Milwaukie, and just random brands, Harbor Freight, a lot of Harbor Freight. I mainly carry here because, you know, it's my home. You know, it doesn't have to be a professional setting. It's just DIY type stuff. So we'll start over here. I got the lawnmower, it's electric lawnmower from Ego. I used to buy and sell tools, and I kept this one around because, I mean, it works. And then this toolbox, this tool cart, mainly carries junk in it. Trash! And by junk, I mean like miscellaneous hardware, like screws and stuff, or hardware around the house, whether that be, you know, lag screws or regular drywall screws or nails. So I keep just random stuff in here. This one too is like the same thing up here, just random bolts. I've been meaning to clean it up. It's not too bad. It used to be worse, but yeah, so random junk. And then just regular stuff on top of the shelves here. But we'll start off on this toolbox. It's not super organized. I didn't prepare, besides the fact that I moved this over here. Up here we have a bunch of cleaning supplies that I'm gonna be using real soon on the X3, because we're getting ready to send this to the sand show and make it look nice and pretty. So a bunch of cleaning supplies that I have up here. Got a bunch of flashlights here. Only one of them works, because the other ones I don't charge them or I don't replace the batteries. We got a bandsaw. Top drawer, we got a bunch of bits, you know, hex bits, shorties. We have some drill bits for, you know, cutting through concrete, masonry type stuff. We have some spade bits, miscellaneous bits here like Torx for removing, you know, all your Torx screws on your UTV. Adapters for 3/8 and 1/2 inch, and just a bunch of random hex style bits I keep in this drawer here. Over here is kind of just private stuff, mainly just pins and old stuff. Right here I keep most of my like knives or blades for the Sawzall. So I got a bunch of squeegees for wrap, a bunch of razor blades, a bunch of stuff for the X-Acto knife, bunch of knives in here. This drawer here I have mainly adhesives and brushes. The C6000 I've used on freaking the RC cars, works great on the shells. I got some cross-check, I have some thread locker in here. Nothing crazy, nothing special. All right, in this drawer we have a punch and chisel set. We have some tools to pry onto like rims when you're installing tires, as well as tire valve stem tools, some extra valve stems, some plug patch tools, or some plug tools, spring tools, just a bunch of random stuff. This actually used to have my screwdrivers, but we moved it since we got a new box, and I'll show you where the screwdrivers are at in just a second. The drawer underneath that, we put our ratcheting wrenches because they didn't fit with the other wrenches. These are just some random tools that we used in the past to make shapes and stuff. And I have all my adjustable wrenches here. I got a big 18 inch. I believe this is a 15 inch and 10, 8, 6. This drawer over here has a bunch of just junk, paperwork and stuff like that. This drawer here might not make the video, so we'll just leave that one alone.
We happy? Vincent? We happy?
Yeah, we happy.
The big drawer, this is where I used to keep all of my sockets, but now because I had so many screwdrivers and all of this was shoved into one of these drawers, it was making it a pain in the butt to open and close this. So I decided to just put it in this big drawer because since I have a lot of it. So over here we have a bunch of picks. These are radiator picks. So a bunch of different angles here, right angles, and yeah, just different angles. Picks are great. Here's another one. And then I have a Milwaukee screwdriver set that I bought at Home Depot. Just Phillips and flat. They're pretty cool. I like them. Some picks that I probably need a warranty because they're all broken from Cornwell. I used to use these at work. They would break too often. I ended up buying Snap-on and I brought these home. And guess what? They broke here too. So trash. Cornwell, not the best. Some pocket screwdrivers because these are awesome. Can never have enough pocket screwdrivers. In the middle, I would say these are the lost and found screwdrivers. Half of these I never even touch. The tips are all jacked up on some of them. Some of them are filled with cement. But I mean, I still keep them around. And then over here I have Matco. This is professional grade. These are the stuff that you would see at a shop. But because I ended up buying Snap-on screwdrivers for work, I brought all my Matcos home. And they're still good. I still use them all the time. I'm very happy with them. No complaints. These are actually made by a German brand. I think it's called Wheat. Yeah, it's on there. Wheat. I don't know how to pronounce it. But they're labeled Matco, but they're made by that German company. Great stuff. Pry bars. This is not a complete set of pry bars because some of the pry bars I do keep in the box that I take to ride. But there's a bunch of pry bars here, random pry bars. You gotta have some pry bars because they make your job easier sometimes. This drawer over here, a bunch of junk, bunch of electrical tape, some old ball joints that I have in here, some solder, a torch, old soldering irons that don't work anymore. Right here we have another wrench drawer. These are made by Tecton. I got metric and standard. These have been pretty good, but I did notice that the 13 millimeter, I have stretched it. It's gonna be hard to tell on camera, but it's kind of stretched. It looks a little wider than it should be. But besides that one, all the rest of them have been great. I used to have the ratcheting set in between here, and it was a pain in the butt. Getting the wrenches out was really hard, so I'm happy that I got another box to have more tools in, and now the wrenches are now they're, you know, easier to get to, so I'm happy with that. Over here, this is in the wrong spot. Another junk drawer. Honestly, I have a clamp meter, some random abrasives, and a bunch of stuff I should probably throw away, honestly. Below that, we have more files, a micrometer, a buzz saw, which I don't even use, and a bunch of discs for the grinder, as well as more sawzall blades. Just a bunch of random stuff. I do have a old 1/2-inch pneumatic impact that I used for a very long time, but I stopped using it, and now it just sits in this drawer. To the left, this drawer is where I keep all the hammers and my drill bits. So all my drill bits stay here. I got like 5 sets because you break some, you buy more. And then a bunch of random hammers, whether that be for framing or for automotive, automotive style hammers. We have a slide hammer in here, a bunch of other stuff, a wire brush, some gloves, a handsaw, and just more random mallets and dead blows. So yeah, pretty much just random hammers in there. In this corner here, we have power tools that I don't use as much. I'll show you guys what the other power tools are in just a second. Right here I have a multi-tool that does come in handy. We use this when we cut the carbon fiber dash for CJ's X3. That worked really good. I have a Dremel made by Milwaukee. This works amazing as well. We have a 12-volt stapler. I actually used this a long time ago when I did stucco in my house. We have a polisher here that we could polish or grind stuff off with, so that will be like to clean off material, gasket material, or I can put a polish pad on there and polish up the vehicles. We got a flashlight, 12-volt flashlight. I never use it. I bought it because I thought it was cool, but it's just too big and bulky, so I never use that. Right angle drill. This is amazing. This comes in handy a lot, especially on these UTVs. So I'm happy to have that in the arsenal. In this drawer, we have a bunch of bigger stuff. We have a 18-volt sawzall, grinder. This is a rotary hammer. Below that, I have a nailer. And then my circular saw, which actually sucks. The 6.5-inch saw has not been good. Trash! But it does a job on some of the thinner plywood. I also got a heat gun in here, which comes in handy a lot for different situations. I'm happy with that. I have some blades here for my bandsaw that was up there if I showed you guys. Above that, we got some random helmets, some posters. I have an air hose here, which I rarely use. Next to that, I usually hang my extension cord. Up above, I hang a portable work stand that works really great for working on these machines when I'm doing doors or stuff like that. More random masks, or excuse me, more random helmets over here. We got the 5150 Whips flag that the boys over at 5150 gave me. This one's colored, which is really cool, and it's double-sided, which makes it a little heavy, so I don't really run it that much. I run the other 5150 flag, which is that one over there. So on top of my new toolbox, I do have the dog food. This is where I carry dog food for my 2 Dobermans. And for the little dog, because sometimes she eats this food too. I have some random stuff here that I'm working on for my X3 dual switches. Pretty cool. The Rockford Fosgate and the rugged radios are laying up here because I have something going on here. Some random stuff. Sneak peek for you guys. We got Switch Pros. We put the map tuner over here. And this is getting all cut up. And we'll show you guys that in another video. So alright, let me show you guys the new toolbox. This toolbox is 52 inches long. And I believe 22 inches deep, which is deeper than this one. You guys can kind of tell this one's sticking out a little bit more. It has a power block on the side, just like this one does. I haven't powered any of them up yet. I gotta run some extension cables to get to this outlet, which I'll probably order after this video. So the reason I got this toolbox is, well, I explained it earlier. Every time I would go for a screwdriver, or every time I would go for a set of wrenches or pliers, it was a pain in the butt. Everything would get stuck. And also this drawer was starting to sag because I had all my sockets in here and it was not able to hold the weight because it only has one slide. We got this toolbox at Home Depot, and let me show you guys the main drawer because it does have 2 slides and it handles the weight of all my sockets just fine. Now in my opinion, this is so little compared to what I have at work. I have way more sockets at work, but for what I do on the UTVs, this does the job. So right here I have my standard deep and shallow sockets, as well as metric deep and shallow. These are all made by Tecton. What I do like about Tecton is they do warranty some of these sockets if you email them. Also, if you lose them, you can actually buy them individually, which can be a pain in the butt with some of the other brands. So I got all Tecton and they work great. They fit on the wrenches great. I have no issues with them. I've had issues with the Huskies in the past, so that's why I don't run those. I run the Tecton. At work, I have all Snap-on, but I'm not gonna buy Snap-on for my home. Right here, I do actually have some Husky. We bought these all last second. I think CJ bought those. Or actually, he bought these. Not sure, but he did buy a 1/2-inch set one time that we needed it. So we got 1/2-inch sockets. We have a large ratchet by Gear Wrench. A breaker bar by Harbor Freight probably. This is a torque wrench 3/8 that is broken. Trash! And then I have a 1/2-inch torque wrench that I use all the time. This is just a miscellaneous ratchets made by Tecton. Another one by Tecton. This is an old Craftsman, Old Faithful, that I've had for a very long time, probably 15 years maybe, since I was at my mom and dad's house. So that's been with me for a while. Over here we have some 12-point sockets, because sometimes I come across some ARPs and you need 12 points. We got this new Husky torque wrench that my buddy CJ bought me for my birthday, because I just turned 30 on the 1st of September. So that's cool. Thank you, CJ, for that.
Holy fuck. Jeez, I'm gonna be an old fucking man.
So that's badass. I can't wait to use that because the 3/8 Matco is broken, like I said. This is a torch I have. This actually doesn't belong here, but I put it here the other day. Got some random Allens here. These are easy to grab quick, but if I don't have what I need, I have another set right here. This is just a random Allen set that I bought off Amazon, and so far it's been great. And I've been using a lot of these sockets even with the impact, and nothing has came apart yet. I don't even know the brand. It doesn't have a brand, honestly, but it's been great. It was cheap and it's been working for me, so I'm happy with that. I also have an Allen set, but this one's made by Tecton. Also has been great, and I have no complaints about that. So I keep these all on this big drawer here. This is all pretty much my socket drawer. Happy with the way that turned out because that one was just not cutting it. On the top here, there are these drawers that are kind of open, which is a little unusual, but I kind of like it. So right here, I keep all my random wiring, 16 gauge, 22 gauge, 18 gauge, just random wiring for when I do installs, which has been too many lately and I need to cut back on them. Over here, same thing, random switches and just wiring and just a bunch of random stuff that I'm going to use for wiring. So a bunch of electrical tape. This is cloth tape I use that to protect the wiring harnesses from chafing, which works really great. Weed whacker string, you can't have enough of that if you're running wire through the cages, because that comes in handy. And then towards the bottom is where I moved all my pliers, because I have a lot of them. These were all stuck in one of those drawers, and man, let me tell you, this was a pain in the butt. Every time I opened the drawer, it would get stuck. Every time I would close it, it would get stuck. It was just a pain in the butt. So now I got this big drawer that has everything. Locking pliers, shearing scissors, regular scissors, crimping tools for butt connectors, wire strippers, more crimpers for terminals, strippers, more dikes, and just a bunch of, you know, random tools here that I have and carry. I might leave links to a lot of this stuff in the description if you guys want to check it out. Not everything, because a lot of it I don't even know where it came from, but a lot of it that I do use personally and that I'm happy with, I will link it down below. And then a lot of the other drawers are kind of empty. Like this one has some tools, specialty tools for spark plug gapping, changing out secondary primary clutch weights, and then the full clutch kit toolkit from Evo. This tool here is for greasing bearings. This for replacing the pins, or the rollers on a secondary clutch. Bunch of random stuff there. Below that, not really anything. I got my old lug nuts. I got a Mighty Vac. I got a, what do you call that? A glue gun. Below that, random chargers for the kids' toys. Nothing in here, and barely anything in here. These are some electronic tools. This is a multimeter. We got a HP tuners, scan tool, an MDI-1, which is used on GM vehicles. This has long been retired. I used this for years, but there's a newer generation MDI-2, which I've also had for about 4 or 5 years already, so that was probably already old, but that's the old one. Oh, some bone tools. When you're working on plastic, this is great because it doesn't, you know, damage anything, versus, you know, a regular screwdriver probably will. Below the plier drawer, there is a more trash junk that I need to go through and throw away some stuff. And then finally at the very bottom is where I moved more junk wiring, but mainly all my impacts, drills, and impact drivers and ratchets. So I got a Milwuakee 1/2 inch 18 volt. I got 3/8 18 volt 18 volt drill, 18 volt impact wrench or impact driver, and then we have some random batteries in here. We have this portable 3-inch disc cutter that I use a lot. This actually comes in real handy because it has reverse and forward, and it's a lot better to cut little stuff versus pulling out the big 5-inch grinder. And then we have 4 of these ratchets because I love the ratchets. So this is a 1/4 inch that I got for my birthday, which is awesome. This is the old 1/4 inch that was probably 10 years old. Still works, but goes really slow. It's pretty much already trash, but I'll probably keep it around for spare parts, especially like the head. And right here we have a 3/8 12 volt again, and then we have another 3/8, but this is their heavy duty, the fuel, the brushless, but it's got a really big head. And when I need a lot of power, I use this one. When I need to fit in tighter spaces, I use the 3/8, or of course the 1/4 inch. So I think that's it. Last thing I wanted to add, I do have a 18 volt blower and a weed whacker that have been amazing. They just came out with a lawnmower, but I already have a lawnmower. But Milwaukee makes a lot of cool tools. I really like their stuff, mainly because all their stuff is 5-year warranty on the tool and 3-year warranty on the batteries. So I've been happy with Milwaukee for a long time. It's not because, you know, they're red and that's one of my favorite colors. It's just because they got good stuff. And, you know, D-Wall makes a lot of stuff, Makita makes a lot of stuff, but I think Milwaukee has the biggest lineup when it comes to 12 volt and 18 volt, especially 12 volt. There's just stuff that they make that a lot of companies don't make. For example, like this tire inflator. I keep this on my machine in the center bag, and if I get a flat, I can put some plugs or whatever, and I can air up my tires. So I love having this with me. They make a lot of cool tools like that grinder I was showing you guys earlier. Plus the whole packout system has been amazing for me. I'm really happy with the packout system. And yeah, overall, I really like their tools, so that's why I bought their toolboxes. I have wanted to upgrade to a Snap-on, but man, they're not cheap, man. They're like 15, 16 grand for a nice toolbox with the hutch, and they're a lot of money. Would I want one? Yes, but I've always been of the thought that, you know, the tools make you money and not the toolbox. So I've always invested a lot in my tools. Every time I borrow a tool, I like to buy it and not have to ask for it again a second time. So All right, guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and checking out my garage slash toolbox tour. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. glifeutv.com. Don't forget to check it out. We got some new shirts, masks, hats, and stickers on the website. Check it out.